Hello there, learners. Welcome back to another episode of Learn English. I am Martin, and I'm thrilled to have you here with us today.
And hello, everyone. I am Luna. It is wonderful to see you all again. We hope you are having a fantastic week and are ready to practice your listening and speaking skills.
Absolutely. We have a very interesting and relatable topic for you today. It is something that affects students, workers, and honestly, almost everyone on the planet. I think even I am guilty of this sometimes.
Oh, I am definitely guilty of it too, Martin. But before we reveal what our topic is, we have a small favor to ask. If you are new here or if you have been watching for a while but haven't subscribed yet, please take a moment to click that subscribe button below.
Yes, and don't forget to hit the like button and turn on the notification bell. That way you'll never miss a new lesson from us. It really helps our channel grow and allows us to keep making these videos for you.
Exactly. We appreciate your support so much. Now, Martin, are you ready to introduce today's big topic?
I am ready. Today, we're going to talk about a very common problem, procrastination.
That is a big word, but it is a very common habit. Let's find out what it really means. So, Martin, let's start with the basics. What exactly is procrastination? It is a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it?
It certainly is a long word. In simple terms, procrastination means the action of delaying or postponing something. It is when you have a task that you need to do, but you decide to do it later, usually at the very last minute.
Exactly. But I think there's an important detail we need to add. Procrastination isn't just about waiting. For example, if I'm tired and I decide to sleep and work tomorrow, that might be good planning. Procrastination is different because it is irrational.
Irrational? That is a great word. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Sure. Irrational means it doesn't make logical sense. When we procrastinate, we know that delaying the task will be bad for us. We know it will cause us stress or that we will have to rush later, but we do it anyway.
I see. So it is doing something that we know is bad for our future selves. That begs the question, why on earth do we do that? Are humans just naturally lazy?
That is a very common misconception. A lot of people think, oh, I'm procrastinating, I must be a lazy person. But psychologists say it's usually not about laziness at all. It's actually about emotions.
Emotions? That is interesting. I always thought it was about time management.
Time management is part of it, but the root cause is often how we feel about the task. Our brains are wired to seek instant gratification.
Instant gratification. That means wanting a reward right now, immediately, instead of waiting for a reward in the future.
Precisely. Let's say you have a difficult report to write. That task looks boring, hard, and stressful. Your brain sees that task and says, no thanks, that looks painful.
So the brain looks for an escape.
Yes, the brain says, hey, look over there. There's a funny video on YouTube. That looks easy and fun. So you choose the immediate fun activity to avoid the negative feelings of the difficult task.
That makes a lot of sense. We're avoiding the anxiety or the boredom of the work.
Correct. And there's another reason, Martin. Some people procrastinate because they're perfectionists.
Really? I would think perfectionists would start working immediately to make it perfect.
You would think so, but sometimes perfectionists are afraid. They're afraid that if they try to do the task, they might fail or it might not be good enough. So they put it off to avoid that fear of failure.
Wow. So we delay the work because we're afraid we won't do it perfectly. That is a vicious cycle.
It is. So remember, everyone, if you procrastinate, you're not lazy. You might just be overwhelmed, bored, or afraid. Understanding why you're doing it is the first step to fixing it.
Hearing you explain the science behind it is really comforting, Luna, because to be honest, I have a bit of a confession to make.
Oh, a confession? Do tell, Martin. This is a safe space.
Well, just last weekend, I experienced exactly what we are talking about. I had one main goal for my Saturday. I needed to organize my garage. It has been a mess for months. Boxes everywhere, old tools, you name it.
I know that feeling. A messy garage can be very overwhelming. So, did you wake up early and get started?
That was the plan. I woke up, had my coffee, and I felt motivated. I walked into the garage at 9 a.m. I looked at the pile of boxes, and suddenly I felt this heavy feeling in my chest. I thought, wow, this is going to take forever.
That is the pain or fear we talked about. So, what did you do?
Well, I told myself a little lie. I said, I just need to check my email for 5 minutes before I start, just to make sure I didn't miss anything urgent.
Ah, the classic just 5 minutes trap. I think we all know where this story is going.
Exactly. I sat down on the couch, opened my phone, and checked my email. There was nothing urgent, but then I saw a notification for a funny video about cooking. I clicked on it. Then YouTube suggested another video, and another.
It is like falling down a rabbit hole. You start watching one thing and suddenly you're watching a documentary about penguins in Antarctica.
That's exactly what happened. I looked at the clock and it was 12:30 p.m. I had wasted 3.5 hours watching videos on my phone. The garage was still messy and I hadn't moved a single box.
That is such a relatable story, Martin, and I bet you felt terrible when you looked at the clock.
I did. I felt so frustrated with myself. But you know, Luna, it's not just about entertainment. I procrastinate in other ways too. What about you? Do you have a specific way you procrastinate?
Oh, definitely. My style is a little different. I call it productive procrastination.
Productive procrastination? That sounds like a contradiction. What does that mean?
It means doing work to avoid doing the real work. For example, last week I had to prepare a very difficult lesson plan for my advanced students. It required a lot of thinking and focus.
Okay, so did you watch videos like me?
No. Instead, I suddenly decided that my kitchen needed to be cleaned. I washed the dishes, I wiped the counters, I even organized my spice rack.
Wait, so you were cleaning? That sounds productive.
It was productive, in a way. The kitchen got clean. But the problem was I was doing all of that cleaning just to avoid writing the lesson plan. I was busy, but I wasn't doing the one thing I actually needed to do.
That's really tricky because you can tell yourself, hey, I'm working hard, but deep down you know you're avoiding the big task.
Exactly. It's a very clever way our brain tricks us. Whether it's watching videos on the couch like you or aggressive cleaning like me, the result is the same. The important task is still waiting for us.
So, Luna, thinking back to your productive procrastination story, even though your kitchen was sparkling clean, how did you actually feel during that time? Did you feel relaxed and accomplished?
That is the big question, and the answer is absolutely not. The whole time I was scrubbing the counters, I had this tight feeling in my stomach. It wasn't a happy cleaning session, it was an anxious cleaning session.
I know exactly what you mean. It's like there's a dark cloud hanging over your head.
That is a perfect description, a dark cloud. Even though I wasn't doing the lesson plan, my brain never fully let go of it. I knew it was waiting for me, so I couldn't actually enjoy the other activity.
It's the same with my movie marathon. I was watching these funny videos, but I wasn't really laughing. Somewhere in the back of my mind, a voice kept saying, Martin, you should be in the garage. Martin, you are wasting time.
Exactly. That is one of the worst consequences of procrastination, guilt. It steals the joy from your free time. You aren't working, but you aren't truly resting either. You're just in this strange, stressful middle ground.
The stressful middle ground. I like that. But the consequences get even worse when we finally do start the work, right?
Oh, definitely. Because we waited so long, we usually run out of time. Remember my lesson plan? I finally started it at 10 p.m. on Sunday night. I was exhausted.
And when you're tired and rushing, what happens to the quality of your work?
It plummets. It goes down. I had to rush through the planning. I made typos, and I didn't come up with very creative ideas because my brain was in panic mode. I just wanted to finish it.
So, if you had started earlier, the lesson would have been better.
100%. The students got a good enough lesson, but not a great lesson. Procrastination kills potential. It stops us from doing our best work.
That is a powerful point. And I suppose there's a physical cost too. For me, when I finally cleaned the garage, I had to do it all in 2 hours before dinner. I was running around, lifting heavy boxes too quickly. I actually hurt my back.
Ouch! So procrastination can literally cause physical pain.
In my case, yes. But for most people, it leads to lost sleep. How many students stay up all night drinking energy drinks because they waited until the night before an exam?
Too many. That leads to burnout and stress. It's a cycle that's very bad for our mental and physical health.
So, to summarize the consequences, we feel guilty while we're delaying, we produce lower quality work because we're rushing, and we damage our health with unnecessary stress.
Put that way, it sounds terrible. It really isn't worth it, is it?
It definitely isn't. So, we know what it is, we know why we do it, and we know how bad it hurts us. The big question now is, how do we stop? Okay, Luna, we have talked about the problem enough. I don't want to feel guilty or stressed anymore. We need solutions. How do we actually beat procrastination?
I am glad you asked because there are some very effective strategies we can use. And the good news is they are quite simple. My absolute favorite method is called the 2-minute rule.
The 2-minute rule? That sounds very fast. How does it work?
It is very straightforward. You look at a task and you ask yourself, will this take less than 2 minutes to finish? If the answer is yes, do it immediately, right now. Do not write it on a to-do list. Do not say, I'll do it later. Just do it.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. For example, washing your coffee cup after breakfast. That takes maybe 30 seconds. Or replying to a simple text message, or putting your shoes in the closet.
I see. So instead of letting these tiny tasks pile up and become a big mountain of work, you just clear them instantly.
Exactly. It keeps your mind clear. But more importantly, it builds momentum. Once you do one small thing, you feel productive. You feel good. And that makes it easier to do the next bigger task.
That makes sense. Motion creates emotion. If you're moving, you feel motivated. But Luna, what about the big tasks? Like my garage. That definitely takes more than 2 minutes.
You are right. For big, scary tasks, we need a different strategy. Martin, what could you have done differently with your garage?
Well, I think my mistake was looking at the whole garage. It was too big. So my strategy is break it down.
Break it down. This is also known as chunking. Tell us more.
Instead of writing clean the garage on my list, I should have written something tiny, like organize just the red bookshelf, or even smaller, pick up 5 pieces of trash.
That is brilliant. Clean the garage feels impossible. Pick up 5 pieces of trash feels easy. Anyone can do that.
Exactly. And usually once you pick up the 5 pieces of trash, you think, well, I'm already standing here. I might as well pick up 5 more. And before you know it, you've been working for an hour.
So the goal is just to make the starting line very, very close to you. Make it so easy that you cannot say no.
Precisely. Now I have one more trick that helps me when I'm glued to the sofa. It's called the 5-second rule. Have you heard of this?
Is that the one by Mel Robbins, where you count backwards?
Yes, it's remarkably simple but effective. When you know you need to stand up and work, but your body doesn't want to move, you count backwards in your head. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And on go, you have to physically move.
Yes, you must stand up immediately. The idea is that your brain tries to create excuses to keep you comfortable. By counting backwards, you distract your brain and interrupt those excuses. It's like launching a rocket.
I love that visualization. Launch yourself like a rocket. I have one final tip to add, Martin. It's about our environment. Remove the distractions.
Oh, this is huge. If my phone is next to me, I will pick it up.
Exactly. So put the phone in another room. Turn off the TV. If you're working on a computer, close all the tabs that aren't related to your work. Make it boring to procrastinate.
That's great advice. If the only thing in the room is you and your work, eventually you'll do the work.
So let's recap. Use the 2-minute rule for small things, break down the big things into tiny steps, use the 5-second rule to get moving, and hide your distractions.
Those sound like a solid plan. I feel more ready to tackle my to-do list already.
That was a lot of great advice, Martin. But before we finish the video, we need to make sure our viewers understand some of the important words we use today.
I agree. We use some advanced vocabulary, and learning these words will really help everyone speak English more fluently. Shall we review them?
Let's do it. The first word is obviously our main topic, procrastination.
It is a long noun. Procrastination. 5 syllables.
Exactly. And the verb form is to procrastinate. As we learned, this means to delay doing something until a later time, usually because you don't want to do it.
Right. For example, I procrastinated on studying for my exam until the night before.
Perfect example. Now, that brings us to our next keyword, to delay.
To delay is very similar to procrastinate, but it is a more general word. It simply means to make something happen later than expected.
Yes, you can delay a meeting or a train can be delayed. It isn't always about being lazy. Synonyms for this are to postpone or to put off.
I like the phrasal verb put off. For example, stop putting off your chores, Martin.
I will try to stop saying that to you. Okay, the next word is one you liked earlier, irrational.
Yes, irrational. I-R-R-A-T-I-O-N-A-L. This is an adjective.
It describes something that is not logical or reasonable. It doesn't make sense.
So, when I watch videos instead of cleaning, even though I know it will make me stress later, my behavior is irrational.
Exactly. A rational person would do the work to avoid the stress. An irrational person avoids the work and creates more stress.
Speaking of stress, that leads to our next word, to rush.
To rush. This is a verb. It means to move or do something with great speed, often too fast.
We usually rush because we don't have enough time left, and when we rush, we make mistakes.
Correct. I had to rush to finish the report. It usually implies a frantic, stressful feeling.
And finally, the feeling we get when we procrastinate, guilty.
Guilty. This is an adjective describing an unhappy feeling you get when you know you have done something wrong.
It is that heavy feeling in your stomach. I felt guilty because I watched TV instead of working.
Ideally, if we stop procrastinating, we won't have to feel guilty anymore.
That is the goal. So the words for today are procrastination, to delay, irrational, to rush, and guilty.
Try to use these words in your own sentences this week to practice them.
Well, friends, we have finally reached the end of our video today. I truly hope you found these tips helpful and that you feel a little bit more ready to tackle your to-do list.
Absolutely. Remember, overcoming procrastination is a journey. It is not something that disappears overnight. So please, be kind to yourself. If you have a bad day and you procrastinate, don't give up. Just try the 2-minute rule again tomorrow.
That is beautiful advice. Progress is much more important than perfection. Now, before you go, we want to hear from you. We have a challenge for the comment section.
Yes, we want to know, what is one thing you have been procrastinating on this week? Is it cleaning your room? Is it studying for a test? Or maybe it is making a difficult phone call.
Be brave and be honest. Write it down in the comments below. Sometimes admitting it publicly is the first step to actually doing it. Plus, we will be reading through the comments and replying to as many as we can.
We love reading your stories, so please share them. And if you enjoyed this conversation and learned something new, please do us a huge favor.
Smash that like button. It really helps our channel. When you like the video, YouTube shows it to more English learners around the world, so you are helping our community grow.
And of course, if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to Learn English and turn on the notification bell. We upload new conversational lessons every single week to help you improve your listening and vocabulary skills.
Also, if you have a friend who is a master procrastinator, maybe someone who's always late or always complaining about deadlines, share this video with them. It might be exactly what they need to hear.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We really appreciate you.
Now, we have one final instruction for you. Stop watching YouTube, put down your phone, and go do that task you've been avoiding.
Yes, go be productive. We will see you in the next lesson. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye. See you next time.